folks. One of the Redneck Country podcasts. You're on with Real Redneck Todd Millard. And, of course, we've got the almost guy, Real Redneck Bill Tom. Bill, are you there?
I'm here, and it's a beautiful night for a podcast.
Is it a beautiful night for a podcast? I haven't been outside yet.
I am in my sunroom, and two things have occurred to me. One, I need to clean up my sunroom. That's number one.
Two, it's incorrectly named.
And two, it is a winter room now because the frost is on the windows from my cup of tea here, and it's a whole lot colder in my blanket and toque and everything out here.
It's the blizzard room. This
is what we're at. And my wife keeps telling me, no, come on inside. And I'm like, I'm comfortable in my chair out here. I got to rough it because this is a special number today. So
it is. It is. Before we get there, I'll introduce because otherwise I'll get interrupted and then it'll break the whole thing.
Before you got there.
But yeah, sitting beside me as always is Patriarch, Redneck Country, my father, Real Redneck Don Millard. Dad, is your mic hot?
It certainly is.
It's almost like he knows how to use it tonight. Well, all right. Yeah, I haven't told Dad. I don't know if he even realizes it. Do you know what tonight is, Dad?
Yeah, I know exactly the night. I know the time.
Do you know what I'm referring to when I say this podcast is a special podcast?
I have no idea.
You've passed the don't get put into the old age home test right there. Yes.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. He's trying. Every chance he gets, he'll make those comments so that you think that he has it all together still.
I know it's cold out, but not as bad as it was yesterday.
Well, see, he's actually passing hanging out in the nursing homes because what else do they talk about?
That's pretty much where we're at.
It's the weather, right? That's as far as we got. So anyway, it is a special night. It is a special podcast. Dad, do you know why it's a special podcast?
No, but you can tell me because I don't think you're ready for it. You're never ready.
Oh, good Lord. Bill, you want to say it? Did you realize it when I texted it to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I did because we talked about this a few weeks ago.
Because you're like a numbers guy. You keep track of these things.
Understanding of math is good with 97 plus 3 equals 100 episodes right here.
This is the 100th episode of the Redneck Country podcast.
Wow.
Yeah. We made it 100 episodes. Here's where we do, and we just play clips from all the last 100. But that would require me to do a whole lot of production work, and that's not what we're about.
And when we talked about this pre-podcast. Don't make your problems my problems.
Exactly.
Is that what we talked about pre-podcast?
When I watch shows,
I was trying to sell a shot cam for Christmas present here.
When I watch shows and they come to the 100th anniversary and they just play all clips, I just fast forward them or turn them off. I've seen them all.
You know, like the reunion shows?
No. Well, reunions never.
Maybe when we get to 250 or something like that, we can do that.
I'll start now.
Yeah.
I got that. Yeah. I've got some, and people probably don't know. Well, I know people don't. I don't even know if you two know it, but I've got some recordings of when we're off the air and I just let it record and you two are talking about soap operas and your medications and all of that.
It'll be interesting anyway.
Yeah.
It's the behind the scenes.
You should get the before. Yeah, behind the scenes before the podcast start stuff, because that's what I think our viewers are missing, our listeners are missing.
And I could, but I'm not ready to hit record with it before the podcast time comes.
She's shocked and stunned. Not ready. Let's start the podcast at 7:15 today. What time is it? Yeah.
Well, we got watching videos. Our good buddy Jimmy Muller has mesmerized me by putting on his Facebook page a bunch of shot cam videos of him whacking ducks at like 80 yards and 50 yards, and then a bunch of crosser midi targets from sporting clays and stuff like that. I was mesmerized. He's been on the podcast before. Muller chokes.
Yep.
Jimmy Muller.
The shot cam thing is kind of interesting there, but I think you should get one of those for Christmas. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know. There's many different facets of the.
I understand.
The shot cam, and then you got all kinds of different cameras and such. You have to do some research.
So I just wanted to touch on something a little bit quick here before we get into our main podcast. I learned something today that I shared with you earlier, but I think your dad might get a kick out of it as well.
Now I'm trying to think because I was so busy. You shared with me earlier today that you learned something. But without further ado, remind me.
Yeah, I'm glad our conversations are very impactful where you remember them for like 35 minutes it was prior to us getting on the podcast. So
I was having like 5 conversations on my phone at once.
What podcast is this, Todd? Do you remember?
It is number 100, and I was ready for it.
Right. So I went to the gun club on the weekend, and I had a very poor round of trap. If you can believe it, I forgot my ammunition at home. So I had
what? Hold on. You're chirping me and you forgot your ammo at home. When you leave, there's just a few things that are mandatory for going to the gun club. Yep. One is usually a firearm. The second is usually ammunition. Aside from that, barring that you didn't put clothes on, you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When you're getting your stuff ready for your wife and yourself, typically most weeks.
Didn't we just talk about this? Don't make your problems somebody else's
right. Here we
problems.
Go. So I'm going to make my problem her problem. But she had nothing to do with it other than she thought, because we were only going to go shoot a couple rounds, and my shooting bag that she's making for me isn't ready yet. So typically what we'll do then is if I'm only shooting a couple rounds, in her defense, is I would just put my shells in her bag. So it's like it carries 8 boxes of shells. I'd put 4 of mine, 4 of hers, and we'd go to the club. So she packed all the stuff that I set out in the back of the van. Well, I was getting the toolbox with my shells in it, and I just got sidetracked, and I thought she picked it up, and she didn't realize I didn't. So we got to the gun club, and I opened the back of the van. I'm like, where's my shells? And Big Eyes goes, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. I was like, well, looks like I'm shooting your shells today. So I was shooting Federal Top Guns.
Were they the pink calls?
No, they're multicolored. They're white, red, and the white and red makes pink. So maybe I guess that's what they were. Thanks for that, jerk. But I get through the first round, and I don't even think I broke 15 on the first round. It was
all
terrible.
A mental thing.
It was 100% mental. I said, these are new shells. I have to change my leads. I have to change everything.
No. I shoot rocks out of it. No, shoot rocks out of it at the 16-yard line.
Yeah. Well, I shot terrible. So I jump off the line, and I said to Candace, because she shot like a 21 or something like that. And she was doing
same shells seemed to work for her.
She said the same thing. She says, it's not the shells. She says, that was terrible. My wife says, that was terrible. So there was no sugarcoating that at all.
Tell it how it is, Candace. Tell it how it is.
Yeah, I broke my first one on station 3, and I dropped the next 4. I broke the first one on station 4, and I dropped the next 4. And then I got really angry.
I'd walk off.
I got really angry.
I'm gone.
And I wanted to throw the shells, and I wanted to throw the gun. I did neither. I finished the round with a 5 straight on station 3. Or station 2, and I walked off the line and said, your shells are terrible. So
that's when I start having fun. I do the funky stuff at that point.
Well, I had nothing to lose at this point in time, so I didn't have any other shells, so I took my shells, her shells, and put them in my bag or my pouch, and we shot a second round. And I was mad, and I bit down on that stock, and I first two stations I didn't miss it, didn't miss one. I was 10, and then the station 5. I dropped the first one, and I broke the next 4. I'm like, now I'm mad. Then I get to station 1. I pull up, and it was click. I'm like, nothing. I pulled the trigger, and nothing happened. I called pull. It went off. I could hear it go. Hear the click. I carefully open the gun. Yeah, there's a little indentation on that primer. I close the gun up, reset the gun, pull, click. Nothing happens. So I take that shell and I put it in the top barrel.
Normal person would think bad shell, bad
shell.
Yeah,
exactly. Then pull. The shell goes off. I dust the target. I'm thinking, this is odd. I have never, ever had a misfire in this gun. So fast forward, end of the round, I finish off with a 21.
You need to clean it?
I finish off with a 21. And yeah, so you think, right? So I come off the line, and that firing pin on the bottom barrel is like, it's like on 45 degrees. It's mushroom. It's just all junk. So I give the gun to Frank, takes it to the gunsmith, and you know what he says? You clean your guns too much. So,
can you repeat that?
No, you can put that one on repeat if you want, but
it's a new ringtone.
So apparently, the cleaning I've been doing to get the gun nice and shiny, whatever, in that area. You're not supposed to clean it as much. I'm cleaning it. And with as much shooting as I've been doing lately, it's gummed up and that firing pin wasn't coming forward enough. And Bert, I don't know his last name. I apologize. But he took the gun apart and fixed it and replaced it with a bunch of parts and springs. And he says, don't be cleaning there and don't clean your gun as much. So... I'm not even going to say you were partially right in your laziness.
It's episode 100, Bill. You might as well bring back some themes from the previous episodes.
Oh,
Go
what is
ahead.
it? I mean,
Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't mean to be arrogant, but is that the one?
I was more looking for Todd's right, but if you said that, that would quickly follow.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, I just wanted to
and
get
it's not,
that
don't mean to be arrogant. I am arrogant. I don't mean to sound arrogant.
Oh, sorry. After 100 episodes, I haven't got the cadence and rhythm of that.
What's up with that, Mr. Thom?
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, I learned a very valuable lesson about...
Listen to Todd. We get it.
Cleaning guns. And
more and more, I think that's becoming a theme.
What?
Listen to Todd? Listen to Todd.
No, I think you're sadly mistaken on that.
I'm going to make a mashup. I am going to do it.
Something's got to give here.
Yeah, with a beat. No, Todd is right.
Yeah.
Anywho, so that's what you guys did. You went to the gun club this week.
Yeah, we actually had I don't know what's going on, but our inner club got changed this weekend coming. I got 200. I got to shoot 200, 100 for the day and 100 makeup on Sunday coming. And that's down in Hamilton. So we're going to be shooting down there
in the cold. 100 targets is a lot to shoot in the freezing cold.
200 targets is a lot to shoot.
You got to shoot 200 coming up in the freezing cold. It's a lot. I mean, that wind and it's everything you can do to get through 25 just to get your hands put back in a pocket somewhere for 30 seconds.
I know. We got I said to the guys at the club after looking at your Wednesday night deal, we need to have like a fire pit here. That would be like the trap kids aren't moving and they're frozen. They're not dressed right. I said, you just need a barrel with some, fire pit going on here. And I'm sure everybody would be a lot more comfortable.
Absolutely. Put one after each station. In between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5.
But it'll be.
I do like
good.
it.
We'll go Sunday. We'll go Sunday and see what we can do.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. You guys shoot 100 singles for your league, but you got to shoot two league days in one day. So you got to shoot 200 singles, and it's cold. I mean, winter's in. It is not because we went to the gun club. And that's what we did this week. So we went Wednesday night. Now, Wednesday night wasn't bad, and we have the fire there. So it's so nice. I mean, then at night we got shooting under the lights. And let me tell you, you smoke targets in the daytime, and unless you are quick and dead center and you've got the right target, you don't see that ball boil up, right? Because the wind will be kicking or whatever to blow it away quick, but you just don't see it. At night, under the lights, when it's just, that's all, it's farm field for as far as the eye can see, pitch black. The light from behind you shining down like stadium lights, and that orange target comes out, that is all you see. And when you pound that target, and I mean, the confidence builder when you hit these things, because they're just balls of dust, and they just hang there when it's not that windy and the air is a bit thicker. And then the person beside you can't wait for that ball of dust to go. Then you're putting a ball of dust inside that ball of dust. That is just awesome. Great confidence builder. And you know where you're shooting.
When you shoot under the lights, how far out can you see? Like to the end of your stakes? That's pretty much as far as the light beam goes.
Oh no, you could probably see 100+ yards. Like those stadium lights, they're bright, right? But I mean, you can see out there, but that target is so bright against the black sky. with those lights when they light up.
The trouble is, you see them so soon, and they look so close.
They're like a sun coming out. You jump at them.
And then you jump at them, and then you realize that, wow, I shot way too soon. And the advice...
For some people.
Yeah, well...
I don't mean to sound arrogant.
The advice that the old timers give you, they say, slow down, take your time, and let your pattern develop, because they're not as far out as you think they are under the lights. It's awesome.
No, yeah. I love it. And then we got the fire. Dad brought hot dogs. We all kind of hung out, cooked hot dogs, stood around the fire. It's fun. I love Wednesday Night League. It's a good time.
You guys shot okay? You did well?
I tied second, dropped my last target to tie. No, tied for first this week. Dropped my last target to tie for first. If I'd have hit it, I'd have won.
You were thinking about it.
I had it already done. It was in my head. It was over. And I already thought that. Yeah, I've already got this. Pull. Loss. Oh my gosh. And of course, you miss a target. You open the door. Station. Yeah, you miss. Open the door. Somebody's there. So tied for first, and then Sunday, and this is why I was saying. So 100 target. We only shoot 50 in our winter inter club. We got 129 shooters on the spreadsheet, if they all show up. So, and we have 5 different clubs that are all participating. And we travel around on a Sunday. 10 shoots through the winter, and it is everything for me to shoot 50 targets. Now we shoot 50 singles, or 25 singles. Sorry, at the 16-yard line, and then we go to our handicap for the other 25. So our 50,
so you shoot both.
Our 50 is made up of 25 singles and 25 handicaps. So you throw handicap targets for long yardage into that mix with wind, blizzard, snow and cold, and then thick clothing so you can stay warm and your gun. It's not fun. I mean, it doesn't. No. So it isn't like it just doesn't become. But with my new stock and that, I've got it dialed in just perfect, I believe. Yeah. So now
I tell you, the last shoot that we went through, Candace was an absolute trooper. We shot 200 and it was raining and it was cold and the machines weren't working the best. And she stuck through it without gloves on because she didn't have shooting gloves.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. You know what? I could order a pair right now. Haven't sent to you. They're on sale. I'll give you a heads up.
She went to, which was another, I don't know why this happened, but she went to Greenhawk, which is the store where you buy all the horse riding supplies and stuff. And bought a pair of riding gloves, winter riding gloves. But, putting her in a tack shop, all this.
Yeah, put Candace in a tack shop with all that leather. Yeah.
All she's going to do is want to get a horse again, and no, that's not happening anytime soon. But no, she went in there and she bought a pair of gloves, and I think they look too thick to me.
Well, I'm going to send you a link because right now, and hopefully when this airs later, it will still be on sale. But right now, there's free shipping and 30% off the Mechanics shooting gloves, like Mechanics that makes the mechanic gloves, right? But they make a whole bunch of shooting gloves too. They're 0.5 millimeters thick. That's what I wear. And I actually wore through, like I hold my gun so tight. I pulled the stitching on my finger. So I just ordered a new pair today. Dad's buddy Bill wanted a pair. And then Sandra that shoots with Dad's buddy Bill wanted a pair. They have women's specialty 0.5 millimeter covert gloves, $25 plus tax makes them 27 something and free shipping right now today.
Well, send me the link. I use wide receiver football gloves, which have the stick.
Yeah, like and I've thought of that before. You know that? Yeah. I really have.
Yeah, that's what I either use batting gloves in the summertime. I was using those, but I decided to switch over to these football Under Armour wide receiver football gloves, and they are awesome.
And see, I got the nice shot golf gloves that say on the middle finger, nice shot. So, but I wore them and they're so tight. I don't know, like they must move just a little bit, but they're leather golf. I wore them in the summer, right? Because these mechanic ones, they're a little bit thicker, so I don't wear them in the summer. I wear them in the winter keep my hands and their leather palm, keep my hands warm in their leather palm, so they get tacky when your hand heats up. So they got grip. These ones, so much grip. I had calluses on my hands, like blisters from wearing those ones, and I so want to, so I can flip guys off when they make a good shot. And but they blister my hands up. So, but yeah, these mechanic gloves, I've used them all last week. I love them. So I just bought another pair, and then these, and they make ladies.
For sure, shooting in the wintertime. So it's a learning curve for us too. I mean, even as much as last Saturday when we were out, the clothing, because it was colder, so I had to figure out the right layers, and my shooting pad on the inside, I added a 1/4 inch to the shooting pad based on what you said.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, that helped out a lot.
I'm sorry. Something I said helped out. Was I right?
No, it was somebody else said that. You just repeated it. So it worked out quite well. But yeah, I'll give you that one.
So you got the right length of pull.
Yeah, but now with the thicker layers of clothing on there, I have to take one of the 2 pieces of leather out, which I did between round 1 and round 2. But it was just canister shells that were wrong on Saturday. That's what it was. It had nothing to do with me being terrible.
Your mental state.
I'm going out Saturday to shoot 50 before I shoot 200 on Sunday as well, just because I've got my gun back from getting fixed, and I need to shoot my shells before I shoot competition.
Right on. Yeah, yep. No, my length of pull, I had to shorten it because I had it right, and I was wearing Under Armour base layer and then a sweater, and that was okay. Now it got colder. I'm like, crap. Now you got to start layering up, and I just couldn't get the gun mounted right. It just didn't feel. I wasn't making the ink balls. I took a sweater off, and next thing I know, bang, I'm right back on them. And so I'm like, so
it makes a difference.
I shortened because I got that Robo stock on there. It's pretty easy to do. I shortened it. What I would guess is the width of my sweater. Away to the races. Good to go. So on Sunday, I did all right. I tied for second with 5 other guys, but I tied for second.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's supposed to be cold on Sunday too, or Saturday, but we'll see. So Frank's bringing the gun to the club on Thursday, so Candace might shoot a couple of practice rounds there too. Not that she needs it because she's doing well, but
can't shoot enough. Can never shoot in this sport. You have to shoot to be good. You just got to keep hammering them.
Absolutely agree with you. So, anyways, we wanna kind of finish up where we started with our controlled hunt.
I guess. Do we need Dad? Did you get a chance to say what you did this week? I kind of answered for you.
We went to the gun club. We had a blast. A lot of fun.
That's it? You don't have anything to add?
Well,
I'm good with that. We could go right on into hunting.
Todd shot in the singles. We took our coats off. I took my coat off because I don't like the bulky. Todd shot a 24 in a single. I shot a 23. So we're heading out pretty good in the signal.
You know what? And I honestly thought a guy didn't show up on our squad, and we're all, because of COVID, we have our time set. You come at this time, you're in this station. This is how it works. And it used to be like that, but it is now. And I got thinking, a guy didn't show up, and I'm going, on my second last station, I've got up there and I'm like, was I supposed to start on station 4 or was I supposed to start on station 3? And I'm like, I wonder if I'm in the wrong spot. And then I called for a target without even thinking about it. Totally missed it. There's my 20. I look back. Lori White was scoring. I said to Lori, was I supposed to start on 4? She's like, yep. I said, I was thinking about that when I called Pulf and lost that target. Other than that, I was on them. I mean, they were just getting poof balled.
So anyway, we go to the handicap. I'm 22 yard. You're what? 24.
I took a reduction.
And it starts to snow. I mean, big flakes.
Oh, dude. Flakes were so huge coming down and like insane. It made you concentrate more. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So I started out good, except on 1 and 2 and 4 and 5. I think I missed every stinking quarter angle. Like the straightaways, they're quarter angles from those stations.
I feel your pain.
And all them, I mean, I got a hard right that was a screamer. I smoked it. And every hard angle, I just whipped by, made the lead, smoked it. And I get this stupid little quarter. I'd move the gun over and pull it up, and it'd keep on flying.
I'm gonna tell you something that you can block his mic for you if you want, but
he needs to listen to me.
The advice that your kid gave me, I have not, other than that one round Saturday, which I'm not even counting, I have not missed a soft angle since.
He won't listen to me, Bill. He won't listen to me.
And what was the advice?
That was just to add a quarter inch to my length of pull.
Oh yeah.
And
he was short because he was snapping at him.
Well,
since that, I have not missed
I think Dad's is the opposite. Dad's shoulder surgery, and he's just too slow getting on him, but he's shooting quicker, so he's not getting the gun there. And that's why I said, you know what, he's got this big, heavy Winchester 101 diamond grade. I mean, it's a heavy gun, and it's front heavy. And I said to him, you need to shoot my BT99 Plus, or even my 1100 that is weighted, it's heavy in the back end of the stock. So the forearm, which is the shoulder that bugs him, it's lighter. He's easier to swing. He can move it quicker. He's too slow now. He needs a lighter front end, lighter gun. He needs to shoot my 1100 BT99, and I bet you he'll be back to ink balling him. He just won't listen to me.
Anyway, because of those stupid quarter angles, I ended up with a 17 in the handicap, which gave me a score of 40. Now, Todd tied for second place with a 47. So he's grinning. He's in the money. He knows he's in the money. And I don't.
Should have been in the money.
And I don't. So anyway, I went away with a 40. He went away with a 47. The scores came in today and what they paid.
The Lewis hit. Which is a calculation. For anybody that doesn't get it, the Lewis isn't based on who wins, except for the very first place person. And then from there, it goes for how many people play the Lewis. So it's an extra $10 to play it. So we got 129 shooters. Just depends how many play it. If 129 people play it, that's a lot of money in the pot. So the more money depending on how many play it, that's a calculation. And then they go down and it breaks out where it just hits various scores based on how many people have shot, how many people played the Lewis, and what the scores are. And then, so it'll go, okay, it hits at a 49, it'll hit at a 47, and then it'll hit at a 44 and maybe a 40 and then maybe a 37. And it's just luck of the draw with how many people based on that calculation. You don't know ahead of time what scores are going to hit. And then the pot's divided up in such a facet. Well, if you're the only person that shoots like a 40 and it hits a 40, you're getting quite a bit of money because you're not splitting it, where a lot of guys shoot a 47 or a 44. Like if a 44 is a popular score, 12 guys out of 129 shoot a 44 and they all split it, they're going to get like $5 each. You're the only guy that hits a 40. What do you get, Dad?
Well, that's where I was going when you interrupted me again. Every time you say, here's your story,
because
you take
I
it over.
knew you wouldn't explain it for the folks to understand.
You don't need to. Anyway, the scores came in today. So Todd's 47 paid $8.
$8.
My 40 paid $67.
You see what's wrong with the world? Something wrong with the world when a 47 pays $8 and a 40 pays $67.
The world's against Todd. Is that what you're saying?
That's an uphill battle, Bill, but I'm going to win it.
Yeah. So it'll take you many years, but
so right now, I'm looking. I'm tied for high handicap. We're only 2 shoots in out of 10, but I'm tied for high overall handicap. Yeah, and I think I'm in third for high overall.
Anyway,
tied for third.
That was our highlight today. Wednesday under the lights and Sunday at an inner club. Now we should be on Tuesday of the Black Powder Hunt.
We want to go there? Anyway, a side note, I'm back into shooting again. There's been a time that I was just like, I can shoot, but it's not like a big deal. I was there for more social time. I'm feeling more, I want to shoot like I did way back 15, 20 years ago.
When you get out there and things are happening for you and everything's going the way you expect it to.
Week after week, you start smoking targets. You got your gun fit again. Everything's working good. It is. You're right. You're right. Now I can't shoot enough, right? I feel that again. I haven't felt like that since like before bull riding.
And this is where we need to change the focus and shoot more. That's it. Yeah. Shoot more and get ready for the summer.
Yep. Dad, I'm going to need some allowance.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, so let's get into hunting jazz now. All right, where do we want to go? Because we covered Monday from our aspect, first podcast. Next podcast, or first podcast for the controlled hunt. Next podcast, we covered your guys with Jay. So now we're on our Tuesday, Wednesday, say.
Yeah, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday.
So where do we want to go?
Wednesday. Let's. I think you guys should start off because I've got a couple stories here for our Tuesday, but my Wednesday was more exciting than that. So
the other way around for us.
Yeah, Tuesday for us. So Tuesday morning, I went down on that ledge I talked about previous podcast. You don't know what I'm talking about. You're gonna have to go back to episode 90, season 2, episode 47. I don't know, episode 98.
Tuesday. That's why I wrote the facts down. Because I went out at Tuesday. Bill comes to my place on Tuesday. And Bill, he showed up and said, hey, I'm having another, I don't know if he's got gallstones or gall, whatever.
That was Wednesday.
No, Wednesday we didn't see any. This was Tuesday. He didn't come.
Oh, I don't want to talk about Tuesday.
He didn't come.
I do.
I don't want to talk about Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday was awesome. I got all kinds of text messages about Tuesday.
He waits so long.
You got them queued up?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Tuesday. Okay, next podcast.
No.
It's been a good one, guys. We'll see you next week.
He talks about so much crap that he forgets everything that actually happened.
I got the main points. Who cares what day it happened on?
No, Tuesday. Bill met me out in the laneway. I said, hey, Bill. He says, can't go today. I got to go back to bed. He says, I shouldn't even be standing up. He has these spells now and again, and he's taking tests to see what he's got. So anyway, he doesn't come. So I went to get Michael and then went and got Todd. And so Todd says, where's Bill? Well, Michael said the same thing. Well, he's not feeling well. He's not coming. So on Monday, we told you that Monday, Rick had put a new stand down below my stand, my one up in the air, on the other side of the hogback, and put a rope so he could get up and down. Well, he sat there Monday and didn't see anything from his stand. And so he decided that he's going to move to the other side of the creek on Tuesday morning. So him and Michael.
In the bottom, way down. They're a ways away from us.
So they drive around over the bridge. They drive in behind another farm and get way back. And then they come in from the other way down in the bottom, and they set up down there. So Todd says, well, you know what? I might as well sit with you in the new Booner blind. So I said, okay, great. You can take Bill's chair and watch the ledge down below, and I'll look the other way.
I was concerned, without Bill, who's going to keep him awake?
Yeah, right. Anyway, which was good because because
he falls asleep.
I've never had, like, in there alone, I never had so much area to watch. Usually when you're up in the tree, you're to the right, to the left, 180 degrees, and that's as far as you can see. But this one, you can see 380 if you spin that chair. So you just never know when you should be looking at the right place. So either way, he's sitting in there. So we're shoulder to shoulder. He's facing one way, I'm facing the other. And it got 8 o'clock, which was not a new time because it didn't switch the time clocks. So that was breakfast time because I figured, okay, 9 o'clock is when they start to move, because it would have been 8 if it was new time, but it was 9 the old time. So we had our breakfast. He had a granola. I had a granola. We each had a coffee. And so right around 9 o'clock, I look out over the field straight in front of me, and the branches. I said to Todd, I got to take some time and trim some of these branches because I'm up high now, and there's just too many leaves. I mean, I can see through holes in the leaves, but not as good as I want to. I look over, and doggone, there's a big doe standing right at the fence, looking right into the woods where I am.
I'm not kidding you. Right there, 20 yards, staring at us. There's maybe a 10-yard opening with all the crap that needs to be trimmed. And 10 yards is all you could see through that field. And that doe's dead smack center of it, just standing there with one leg up in the air like a flamingo, staring right at us.
So I look not at us, underneath us. He's staring underneath. She's staring underneath us.
How do you know? She's looking our way.
So anyway, I turned my head and I said, there's a deer, to Todd. And so I didn't pay attention to what he did. Obviously, he must have turned around for a look. But I get the gun up, and I'm taking my time, and I'm putting that crosshair right in the boiler room, and I pull the trigger.
No. Wait, pause. No. So he does all this after he told me, there's a deer. And he said that so loud that no wonder that deer's standing there staring at us, because we talked about it last time, that blind, it's so dark in there, you can't see. And I know it could hear us. Yeah, and it's trying to figure out, what am I hearing? There's no movement? There's nothing happening? What is going on? So I'm looking, I turn around and I look, and it is standing there with one leg like a flamingo up in the air, staring in. And I swear to you, Bill, it was a minute and a freaking half that Dad is getting this gun on her shoulder.
He exaggerates.
I'm going to unplug his mic because I'm not kidding. I'm literally going, shoot. I'm now, my hand is on his shoulder. He's got the gun through the window, and I'm going, shoot her, Dad.
When you're sitting there,
shoot her, Dad,
with your back to the gun and your head turned over your shoulder looking at a deer, and you haven't made the move to put the gun up, you're not trying to look through the scope, you're not trying to center the crosshairs on the deer, it seems like it's eternity.
Oh, dude, because it was an eternity.
You sit there thinking, okay, you got to shoot, and maybe you might have thought, okay, shoot it, and that's about it. Because by that time, I got it on.
It wasn't 3 seconds before my gun was out that window.
He exaggerates.
Let's put it that way. So my hand's on his shoulder, and I'm going, shoot her, Dad. And I whisper in his ear, shoot her, Dad. And I'm thinking, he can't hear me. Shoot her, Dad. What are you waiting for? So shoot her, Dad.
No, it wasn't that long.
Oh, dude, it was that long.
Anyway,
and then finally,
it doesn't matter.
He pulls the trigger.
The deer does not move. I put the crosshairs right in the boiler room. I pull the trigger. She does the jump. The back end goes up, and she runs to the right.
Well, that thing filled with smoke. We're trying to push the smoke out of the way so we can see.
I don't know if the gun barrel was completely out the window or not, but either way, most of it came right back into the inside. And again, I said before, you can't get down below the smoke because you go down below the window, and so. Anyway, I'm trying to wait for the smoke to clear, but I did see her run to the right, then lean to the left, make a big circle, go out about 20 more yards in a circle, and now she's running back to the left towards the hogback, towards the ravine, and she runs right in front of another big doe standing there staring. And as she runs past that doe and disappears into the ragweed and heading right to the hogback, I think, well, she's going over the edge. I notice another deer now has run out from behind the foliage and right out into an open spot in front of that doe that she ran by and is halfway between us and the other doe. And I said to Todd, there's 2 more deer. They're just standing there. And so
just standing ready, poised and ready to drop down over that ravine at about 80 plus.
So somehow or other, he gets up out of
wait a minute here. All I can hear is an excuse in the making because Hail Mary Todd
it wasn't that far.
Would take that shot 10 times out of 10.
It wasn't that far. But I'm going to pull the trigger if I can get the gun up, get Dad out of the way because I got to shoot through the same freaking window.
50 yards max.
Oh my gosh, it was not 50 yards.
It was, yeah.
50 yards.
Wait, yeah. So anyway,
let's go.
He gets up.
You're delirious, Mr. Biden.
He gets up out of the chair.
There's no way.
Yeah. He gets up out of the chair. And he turns, he's rubbing shoulders with me.
Rubbing shoulders. I'm trying to check him without putting him out the other window. He gets
the gun up, and the next thing I know, he says, I can't get a beat. And then all of a sudden, his hand comes down on my shoulder, and he straight arms me right to the floor, and he says, out of the way, get down. And then I hear, oh, whoa. Well, I can't see a thing because I'm down below the window, and when I do come up, it's nothing but smoke. And I said, did you hit her? He says, I don't think so.
She started to run. When I had to push him down and I yelled, get down. Oh, she was tensed and ready to rock at 80 yards. My voice can carry. And
Weird they do that, eh? Weird they get all tense when you're throwing stuff around inside a blind.
So my gun was behind me leaning against the wall because I was facing completely the other way. I had to reach for my gun. I bang it off the wall. That's not quiet. That's not an insulated booner. I bounce it off the wall. I get my chair out of the way because I got to stand up because my chair doesn't swivel. I'm in a lawn chair. So I got to get up and turn around. My chair's bouncing off the wall. I'm pushing Dad. Dad's bouncing off the wall. Like, I swear to you, we must have looked like the Men in Black guy inside that bus. The guy wearing the Edgar suit. And that whole thing had to be rocking back and forth. I finally get the scope on her. Finally, I come up behind her from her butt forward, and just as she starts to run, I just pulled the trigger. And I mean, she was 4 steps from going over the edge of the ravine anyway. And but hey, it's only a bullet, and Dad bought lots.
Yeah, I figured it. But what I don't understand is all the stuff that was on the inside of that blind. You guys couldn't move around more agile.
Oh, because Dad had it packed in there like we're at the Taj Mahal. We got to have, I told you, I had to turn the kitchen sink off before I grabbed my gun or we'd have water all over the place and make sure the toilet wasn't still running.
Did you get this on camera?
Yeah, there's no room in there for a camera after Dad gets all his crap in there.
There's enough room for you to send me a picture of what was on the inside of the.
Maybe if I had a shot cam, we could have had it on camera.
Yeah. So
I'm sending you a picture right now.
This morning,
and you can see what's inside. Now this picture, it does have Todd's chair folded up and out of the way, but you can see my little table.
And that chair's not small. It's
and
a big
on
chair.
my little table, there is nothing more than anyone else would take in. There's a roll of toilet paper. I'm the only one that takes the toilet paper. There's my reloading, my quick load things. There's my deer call. There's my rattle bag. There's
nothing in this.
My phone. Yeah. How do you like that picture?
That's pretty organized, neat, tidy. The chairs are folded up in the backside of it. The heater, buddy. You got a table. I mean, the only thing that seems to clutter a place up is Todd.
That's right.
Oh, good grief!
That's right. Like I told
100
you,
episodes, like 90 episodes. I was able to chirp you guys. What happened to the last few episodes?
I told you he exaggerates. Anyway,
you lost your edge.
We sat there till noon or lunchtime, and I said, "Well, we get close to 11 o'clock or lunchtime." This is 9. I said, we'll go look for my deer because there might be something more come out. And at lunchtime, I am clearing out those limbs. And I did take in a telescopic.
Well, I thought he wanted to take a couple limbs off. So I said, well, I get down and look for this deer, look for blood. I might as well do it now while I get down. Well, then he's like, okay, there. I'm like, Dad, this is like a 2-hour job. We're not doing this right now. We're still hot. Never mind. We'll do it at lunch.
Yeah, so we'll do it at lunch. So at 11 o'clock, we get a hold of Rick. He's coming back with the 4-wheeler. Okay, well, he's coming back. Let's go and see if we can find this deer.
Yeah.
So I stayed up in the booner, and Todd went out to where it was standing, and he found blood, and he tracked the blood, and he wasn't 10 minutes, and he come back, and it had gone down the right-hand side of the hogback, but it didn't go completely to the bottom. It was laying on a ledge. Right?
Not much. It was almost to the bottom. It stopped about 10 feet from being in the creek.
Well, it was on a ledge, but you could plainly see it. So, okay, we're waiting for the 4-wheeler. Let's start trimming branches. So we started at it. We started trimming them. And then Rick showed up. So Todd went with Rick over the edge, dragged it up, and I got pictures of them gutting it right at the top of the hogback right there. And while they were gutting it and everything, I kept trimming, and I cut out 5 trees. And I sent you the pictures. You can see the difference in the.
Oh, it's huge! It's a great difference between the two.
Yeah, I'm still up in the leaves where I am in the woods. But now I can see on a 45-degree angle down into that field. I can see them coming. I can see them to the right, to the left. Big difference.
I don't know if you did yourselves any favors, because now you've just got that much more to worry about and move around with, and you're not sure which window to put your gun out over.
Yeah, exactly. But the after or the before pic, no, the after on one of those pictures with the closest arrow, that's where that deer was standing.
Yeah. The closest, the one that Todd missed?
Well, the one that I hit the deer, I hit the doe.
Oh, I see.
And then the other one was standing behind that one about 20, 30 yards behind that one. And that's the one that, I don't know which one Todd was shooting at, whether the one between us or that one. I have no idea because he pushed me to the floor. So
either way, it was 2 things. That was an easy shot at that distance. And 2, what are you pushing your dad to the floor for?
So I could get that easy shot, and it was more than 50. It was 80 plus. Yeah. 80 plus, and it was ready. And actually, it started to run when I pulled the trigger. I had to swing.
Yep, I got it.
So anyway, we got number 2 on the board, and it was a nice deer. And that was. Did
I see that hide, or was that a different one?
No, that was a different one. That's a different. Thursday's
all right, we'll
deer.
Talk about that another time.
That was Thursday's deer. But,
all right.
Yeah, that's the other picture with the other arrow.
Tuesday was you shot one deer Monday, one deer Tuesday, then, eh?
Yeah, and I thought myself that that's pretty slow going. Like usually we got more than 2 deer down in 3 days.
Well, if Todd could hit what he was shooting at, he might have had a little bit more.
By Tuesday, I'm down 8 bullets.
Yeah, there's more.
I was trimming trees.
Now,
Yes.
on Tuesday.
Oh, he's got a sheet out again.
On Tuesday, remember I told you that Rick never saw anything from the new place he put his stand. He saw him across the creek out of range. So him and Michael went around the end, and he went into a stand across the creek that he could see from where he was. And Tuesday morning, while he was in that stand, looking back towards his old stand, he saw a big buck walk right under the stand that he had abandoned from Monday.
Oh, isn't that always the way?
Yeah. So
Isn't that always the way?
He made a mistake and moved, or that would have been another one on Tuesday.
Okay, so if I'm trying to take a point away from this hunting story, what is it? Don't hunt with your father and you'll be able to get the shot.
I was thinking the other way around. You hunt with your son, he's cluttering up the place. But
he's coaching you in your ear.
He's
I'm not sure Dad would have pulled the trigger if I wasn't there telling him to.
I'd have pulled the
You
trigger.
think your dad doesn't know when to pull the trigger when there's a deer in the crosshairs?
I was beginning to wonder, Bill. I really was.
He exaggerates.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, so Tuesday. I didn't get a deer then Tuesday.
Nope.
No.
And nothing on Wednesday.
We didn't see a deer on Wednesday.
No,
Did not see a deer on Wednesday.
Now on Wednesday,
Can't believe it.
On
And
Wednesday,
the way you guys hunt and where you hunt, that's kind of unheard of, you know.
yeah, it is because, and it wasn't a bad day. It was cold. It wasn't, it wasn't.
I said it's the best day. I think I even texted you that, Bill. No wind.
Yeah.
It was the coldest day we had and no wind.
Yes.
Now
I was very, very confident on Wednesday.
on Wednesday, Rick had to work, so he didn't come. And Michael had a commitment in the afternoon, so he left at noon. And so, first thing he did, when Bill was still sick again. So I picked up Michael. He says, "Where's Bill?" I said, "He's still sick." And Michael says, "Can I sit with you in the booner?" "Yep, sure." So I thought, good choice. You'll come walk down over the ledge, and I'll just watch the other way because it's about time for one to come over the ledge. So we sat there till 12:30, 1 o'clock before Michael had to leave. And Todd saw nothing where he was down at the ledge in the bottom. I saw nothing looking on the field, and Michael saw nothing from the ledge. And of course, Rick wasn't there.
That's six less eyes in the bush, and three less spots being.
Yeah.
Like if Michael was in a spot too, that would have split up the area a little bit more too.
But we didn't see a thing. So Wednesday afternoon, after Michael left, I was alone in there. And I thought, okay, I got lots of room to move, and I'll just do my own thing because Todd didn't come in with me Wednesday afternoon. He went back down into the bottom, but we saw nothing. So our Wednesday was a bust. So that was up to Wednesday. Now, do you want to take over and talk about your Tuesday?
Yeah,
Wednesday?
Tuesday. You know what? Tuesday was one of the days that we actually had a little bit of success there, and TJ. We had this buck on camera that we called him the unicorn for obvious reasons, and I think he showed up on everybody's camera throughout the course of from October till that fateful day. But we saw him, and he came out to TJ more than enough times where he had the crosshairs on him. And he passed. Okay. Crosshairs on him.
Why are you calling him the unicorn? You got to break it down for me. One single horn. All right.
We'll get there. So the unicorn. We'll get there now. The unicorn was just that. He had one horn. He didn't have, one side that had 3 on it. The other side, it literally had one. It was a spiker that had probably 12-inch. One-sided spike on the one side. So he was aptly dubbed the unicorn. So, but he made his rounds, and he kept coming up to TJ in a new spot. We call it the sniper stand because back in the days it was up in this big oak tree, and it's oak or maple. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. Up high enough that you could see, 100 yards in all directions. It literally is like a sniper's watchtower. Bushes growing up, you can't see that much now, but that stand there has been a producer for us year over year. But TJ, to play the wind, had set a stand up So if the wind's blowing in this direction, he can hunt the sniper stand. If the wind's blowing in another direction, he put his stand up, 100 yards in the opposite direction of where the tree was. So he had put his apples halfway between his stand and the sniper stand. And so he could shoot anything that came out to the apples from either stand. So this day he was in the sniper stand, and the unicorn made his 4th appearance in front of TJ within 3 days. And the text messages started coming, and it was pretty funny because we're all thinking it's Tuesday morning, and Tuesday morning is typically the day TJ would shoot a spiker, or we would see a spiker, and we'd have to make that decision or want to make the decision. And he texted me and the Alliance text group and said, the unicorn's here again. Should I shoot him? And I said, well, maybe. And it wasn't 10 seconds after I said maybe, I was typing it in the text message. Is he the same size or bigger than my brother's deer? And crack. I said, well, decision made. No more unicorn. so the unicorn hit the ground, and that's one shot.
That's my kind of dude right there. You don't hesitate. You don't think. I'm just, hey, it's done.
And the unicorn was standing over top of the apple pile, and he didn't take half a step. He dropped right down, and they had to pull him off the apple pile to take the pictures and stuff like that. But the unicorn came one too many times, and TJ had that itchy trigger finger, and down he went.
Well done, TJ. Well done.
Yeah, yes, he did well. That was it. He went back, and I had ended up. I stayed in the field where I had been hunting most of the week. Or, I had hunted the whole week pretty much up till that point. And I had a couple deer, the same thing. I had a small doe, and I think I kept texting you. I passed another one.
Yeah.
And I could.
And I'm thinking, are you ever? I think I said to you, Bill, it's Wednesday. just letting you know.
Yeah, it was at that point. But anyway, so I saw a couple deer on Tuesday, and we kind of went back to camp, and that was it. The deer was hanging. My brother and TJ were doing a great job. They took it upon themselves and started skinning deer. And this is the first year I never skinned a deer. And those two guys, rock stars, I tell you right now, they they gutted the unicorn deer. They put it up. They cleaned it together. They picked all the hair off it. I couldn't say enough. I really appreciated the fact that they did that this year. It was awesome. So, yeah. So Wednesday morning, we kind of had a conversation Tuesday night. Jay wasn't getting up on Tuesday morning, so he offered me the use of his stand on Wednesday morning. So, so I'm thinking, great. He's seen a couple does there. I still got a doe tag in my pocket. Big doe, if the big doe shows up on Wednesday morning over the apple pile that my brother put out there, I'm not hesitating at all. So, so this is where the fun happens. I don't know if you know where this story is going.
I remember. I know where this goes. You got to pull the trigger.
No, this is not where this is going.
Yeah, you got to pull the trigger. Keep going.
Yeah, I did. This is one of the worst days that I've had in the deer hunting woods, and this is in true almost guy fashion. My brother's got a stand that I don't think he has a level, because that stand was pitched on a pretty significant angle down. So when you're sitting on it, he warned me beforehand, you got to hold on to stuff. And it wasn't nearly as bad as he let it out to be, but I was tucked in the corner of the stand. It's a 2-person ladder stand. I think you guys use them too. It's beautiful construction. You feel safe in there all the time, except for the fact that this stand is pitched forward to a point where, you put your sandwich on the seat, your sandwich rolls off the seat, and it's on the ground in front of you.
Hate that. They got to be pitched back so you kind of slide back into the tree, and then you can relax.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He didn't have a level, and he didn't know where the sun came up, because sure enough, and I'm in the tree stand, and he warned me. before I got in there. He says, the stand's pitched forward. Be careful. I dropped my sandwich already out of it. I said, no problem. I'll figure that out. He said, oh, by the way, the carabiner is broken on my my rope to pull your pack up. He said, just be careful, but you'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So when I went up the stand, I never ever carry my gun up on my back when I go. I always take the bullet out, in there and put it and hoist it up, and I'm fine, whatever. But I put my pack in the tree. I'm good. I hunted. Well, the hunt's over, and sure enough, he's absolutely right. That sun comes out right there in front of you, and it was a sunny morning, and I had my hat on, I had my sunglasses, I was fine, but no deer showed up. So I don't know what he did the day before to tell the deer the almost guy was coming. That's why
he let you. Yeah, he's like, oh, you can take my stand, Bill.
Yeah. I don't know what he did, but up to that point in the hunt, the sun came up right where we're supposed to, right in my eyes. But I was prepared for that. What I wasn't prepared for was my glove dropping out of the tree stand. What I wasn't prepared for.
You got dad-asitis.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I don't know what happened, but I just got old all of a sudden. And I dropped my hot pocket.
You did hang it with him. It's old through osmosis, Bill.
Yeah.
It's contagious.
It's got to be. I dropped my flashlight out of there because they found that. I didn't even know I dropped my flashlight out of my pocket. Pause for 1 second,
because I don't know if Dad realized that inadvertently, even if you just called Dad old. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to say something there, but he didn't. So
I know I'm old. I say that all the time.
Oh, I say it. It's the end of the world. You say it. I know I am. It's Bill. You carry on.
No, he's always making remarks at me to do this or do that, and he'll say, now when we go through here, walk like a deer. Us old guys cannot lift our knees up 6 inches past normal, let alone walk like a deer in high step and put that foot down. Walk like a deer.
Are you done interrupting Bill in the middle of his story? Like you're just monopolizing his time here.
Yeah. So I dropped my flashlight. Didn't know that until after the hunt was over. I dropped my hot pads that were in my pocket. I dropped one of those down in the bottom of the tree stand. It goes. I dropped my gloves, just one of the two of them. I couldn't drop both of them, so I would have no gloves. I dropped one of the two. That's down at the bottom of the tree stand. So my brother also in his tree stand has got this really nice cup holder, and in that cup holder I put my Gatorade. Because I had a sandwich. I like my peanut butter and jam sandwiches when I'm out in the stand. So not seeing any deer, I had a peanut butter and jam sandwich and I had a Gatorade. But I didn't have all the Gatorade. So now it's time to fit it. I'm done the hunt. I'm going to go back, change spots for the afternoon. So I take the Gatorade, which I put it in my backpack. I take the gun, take the bullet out, and I pull the rope up. Now I take the rope and I put it on the gun, and I take the carabiner and I put it on the backpack. And I'm going to hoist down my backpack and the gun just to be safe, right? Just to be safe.
Just to be safe.
Right. I would have been better off jumping out of the tree stand.
I one-handed. I carry my gun in my hand and I one hand down the ladder.
Well, I should have done that because I have never had this type of problem where I started to lower the pack and the gun down out of the tree stand, and the rope somehow, I have no idea how, got tangled in and amongst the whole setup. So the rope is between my gun and my pack, and now it is about, I don't know, about halfway down out of this tree stand, which is, what's the height of those tree stands?
18 feet. It depends. They go 12 to 18. It just depends which ones you got, right?
All right.
12 feet.
So now I'm about 9 feet. My gun and my pack are lowered about 9 feet out of the tree stand, and I can't do anything. It's stuck. So I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? I start to hoist the rope up. Well, me being the almost guy, I pulled the wrong end of the rope. And that gun and pack did a 360 in the air and went down because gravity sucks, and took that pack and gun, and it come down in about half a second, and right on the ground it goes. That gun jammed the barrel into the dirt, and I had about an inch of mud in the end of the barrel.
Oh man, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
Bill, you need to clean your gun more often.
Yeah, exactly. So I had about an inch of mud because it's a single shot. So I cracked it open, looked, sure enough, full of mud. The scope cap came off the gun, and then so as I decided, I picked my backpack up, and it's wet. Well, I'd forgot to put the cap on the Gatorade before I put it in the backpack. So now I got a gun that's on the ground, a Gatorade spilled all over the inside of my backpack. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
You're awesome.
Yeah. And I said to myself, this is the time when that big ticket or a doe is going to come out.
No, it's watching this whole thing from the woods.
Oh, yeah.
It's laughing.
It's laughing. It was, I guarantee you the whole woods was laughing at me because the almost guy is dropping stuff out of the tree. I've never had that happen to me before. And sure enough, gun hits the ground full of mud. So now I got to go back to the camp and I'm steaming right now. Don't talk to me. Nothing. I'm steaming. Nobody was around, which is a good thing. I found the gun cleaning kit and I cleaned the gun out. And you know what? I gotta hand it to Vortex Optics. We're not sponsored by anybody, but that scope, I sent you the picture, and I took one shot at 100 yards, and I was dead nuts on at 100 yards, exactly where it was before I dropped it out of the tree.
You can drop it from 12 feet, and still, that's an advert right there. We should be sponsored by them.
We should be. Yeah, I dropped it right out of the tree from that. Yeah, it bounced on the ground, filled with mud, the barrel filled with...
You got to pull the trigger for once.
And I finally got to pull the trigger. So, not exactly how I had planned and envisioned my Wednesday morning, but that's exactly what I did. I put another round through the gun and made sure it was sighted in where I thought it should be. And because, you drop a gun out of a tree, you need to get the confidence back in you that nothing moved. I mean, it's not nearly as far as dropping it. It's a little bit further than dropping it off the bench of a...
It just landed in mud, not concrete.
Yeah. So, but public service announcement.
Yeah.
Make sure all the mud is out of your gun before you shoot.
From a sponsorship perspective, a Vortex can drop 12 feet. A Tradition scope, do not drop it 6 feet on concrete.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was I actually ended up seeing I saw 2 deer on Wednesday night, and I passed them. But
and it was Wednesday. Oh my gosh!
I had all my fun and excitement in the morning. I'd already taken a shot. I didn't need to waste any more bullets like some other people on this podcast.
Your dad not buy them for you, Bill?
Deer. What's that?
Your dad doesn't buy them for you?
No, he does not buy bullets for me.
I say that flippantly because I did pay for half the bullets. I just happened to shoot.
Have you seen the money yet, Don?
I just about fainted because it was $42, and he says, "Oh, I got a 20 in my pocket. Where'd that come from? Here's for half the bullets." And I just about fainted because he actually had money in his pocket. Usually he says, "I'll pay you, Dad. I'll pay you, Dad."
I say go see Jen.
Even though he
Jen
still
will
can't
pay
divide
you.
42 by 2. And how come you went on the low end of that? You should have given him 45.
That's all he had.
You should have given the 25.
I found a 20 in his coat. That's it.
I found $20. It was probably a coat I had from last year.
It's probably your wife's 20. That's what it was.
Well, Sunday, yesterday.
I knew it. I knew this was going to unlock.
We're heading down to the gun club, and it costs us $35 to shoot, play the stuff we want to play. And so we're well on the way, and he went, "Oh, no, I got to go back." I said, "Why you got to go back?" He says, "I left my money. I changed my pants, and Jen gave me $40 and they're in my other pants pocket. I forgot to get out of my pants pocket."
Okay, so I had to speak at church.
Let me finish.
I was wearing dress pants, and normally I just wear jeans or whatever. I'm not speaking at church, and then I just put on my Under Armour. I'm good to go. I had to come home and change. Jen had given me $40 and was taking the kids shopping.
Which was your allowance?
So, well, yeah, I don't carry cash because I don't leave the house. Or I tap it. Gun clubs don't have tap. So I need cash. You got cash? Jen always got cash. I'm like, "Jen, I need $40. Leave me $40. So she left me $40, put it in my dress pants, but then I had to change. So it was still in my dress pants.
So he looks at me and he says, "Have you got money, Dad?" I said, yeah, but I don't have $70 because that's what it's going to take for two of us to shoot. He says, well, then I got to go home. Bill says, I'll lend you $40.
No, that didn't go. I said, no, and now I got to go to the variety store. And Bill's like, I might have it. If you got it, Bill, excellent.
Yeah. So, you're always, he says, remind me when we get home, Todd.
And I did. I didn't even need to be reminded. I found it. And I actually did the same thing when I went to hockey Friday night because Jen gave me $20 to pay for hockey. Or no, I forgot to get it when Jen left for work in the morning.
Over your allowance now.
My weekly finances is going up because I'm doing too much. But hockey's $15. And so I forgot and I didn't want to go to the bank. So I said, oh, crap, Jen. Then Megan came home. I'm like, Megan, I'm going to hockey. If you got $20, I can borrow my daughter. She's like, yep, here you go. So I said, your mom will pay you when she gets home. So, but then I changed my pants before I went. So I got to hockey and I don't got my money. So luckily the kids came to watch anyway. And so I said to Jen on my way back to the dressing room, throw me a 20.
So your picture's on the bank wall. They won't let you in there, or what's your reason for not?
I just don't like going. If I leave the house, I'm on a mission. It's like you have a handgun. You can only go and take your handgun from here. You have to go direct to the gun club. That's in my mind, no matter what I'm doing. I'm going to hockey. I got my equipment. I'm going to the arena. That's how it is. Got my gun. Going to the gun club.
I understand.
Yeah. So anyway.
So the never ready guy is there. I like that.
So
we're up to Thursday.
Well, okay, we're close to time, but I can crunch my story. We'll finish up the controlled hunt right now. It's a doozy. Now I can't wait till next week, or I could tell it now.
No, wait till next week. It's a doozy.
It's a make it happen.
Let's wait till next week.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cliffhanger now. 100th episode, folks, and we're leaving you with a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
I like it. Well, that's awesome. We were just about at the end of the hunt.
We are. I got one story. I got 2 deer, but it's one story, and I had to make it happen. And dude, I can't believe it happened. That's all I'll say.
Well, and that's what we'll leave this one on, and we'll pick it up right there on the next podcast, episode 101.
And just for the record, that little container of primers is still here on the table.
Hopefully it'll be there next November. We're good to go.
It will be.
You'll know where it is.
It's right here in the studio. Good grief. Well, it's been a pleasure. 100 episodes, Bill.
It has been a pleasure, gentlemen.
At one of these times, we're going to have to re-record the outro and add Dad in. I mean, he's only been on it since the beginning. Darn near.
That's true.
But that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Yeah, I agree. It's too much work.
Yep. I'm good.
Till next time.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill. Have a good one.
We will talk.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
And that'll do it for this week, folks. For the Redneck Country podcast, I'm Bill, the Almost Guy Tom.
And I'm Todd. Thanks for listening. And folks, if you want to be part of the podcast or you want to give us some feedback or really contact us about anything, feel free to email us at podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Again, that's podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again next week.